Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside head coach Daron Schoenrock. And Coach, I know it's been kind of a frustrating and hectic start to the season for you and every other coach in the region, in the Southeast, in the Midwest with the weather this year. It's something you deal with every year, but it just seems to be a little unusually tough trying to scratch out and getting ball games in this year.
Yeah, it's tough for everybody, and we try to balance how many series we play at home and how many we play on the road in what we call the preseason before conference play starts. And we put our first two weekends on the road, and we hit it real lucky in Tulsa. Got all three games in, and not so lucky this past weekend. But it's something to deal with. I think what makes it tougher is the preparation in January. The weather in January and February, the weather was so good that we were outside a lot, and then all of a sudden it's time to play, and now we're inside. And the guys are, they have a hard time with that, but as a coach, you gotta overcome it.
Coach, we want to mention quickly before we recap UCA and then look ahead. You've got the Wednesday night game or afternoon game with Mississippi Valley. You've got St. Louis coming in the weekend, but we want to remind everyone to follow GoTigersGo.com and the Memphis Baseball Twitter. It's at Memphis Baseball, because obviously with the weather could be some changes. We don't want to say anything official here, but could be some movement over the next 4 home games.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we might possibly do, and there's a lot of administrative decisions and questions that have to get approved and to do that. But we'll try everything we can to get the proper number of games in. And what I've told our team is we're gonna play 56 games. We're gonna do everything in our power to play 56. The teams that you're looking around, some teams are playing a lot of games now, and we're sitting here at 2-2, and they go, guys, some teams have played 8-9 games already,
right.
And but when it all shakes out, we'll play some when it's sunshiny and warm, and they'll be practicing on those days. So
right.
that's the trade-out that I'm telling them is be patient, and same thing with the fans is it's kind of a day-to-day thing of even moving game times and rescheduling games. Just be patient and check the Twitter and check the website. We'll do the best we can.
Coach, let's start off. You got to play one game at Central Arkansas on Sunday. You got there in about 45 minutes till game time. You and Central Arkansas decided we can only play one game. It was a great decision because it was snowing in the 9th inning. By the time the bus pulled out, it was already sleeting, and you'd see the slush starting to build up. But you were able to go over and get a really nice 5-2 win.
I thought our guys showed a lot of toughness, Jeff, and that was tough conditions, good opponent. The lineup that we pitched to, I think, was every bit as good as the lineup at Oral Roberts, and probably a little more balanced 1 through 9, a little tougher outs in the bottom of the order. So I was very pleased I thought we made a lot of big damage control pitches. Caleb seems like he always does that. Bases loaded situation, wiggles his way out of it. You saw Connor Alexander do that. So making big pitches in big moments was tough, and it was in tough conditions was key. And then the generation of a big inning, we finally got one, and it was jump-started with the ability to execute a hit and run, a short game, a bunt play that worked, a safety squeeze. So you saw that you can generate a 4-run inning without a bunch of big hits, and in that kind of weather, that kind of day, the team that can generate the first big inning most of the time is going to win the game.
You mentioned Caleb. He pitched solid for you. He did get in trouble. He threw 26 pitches the first inning, was in trouble the first 3 innings, but as you mentioned, worked his way out of James the first 3 innings and ended up getting 5 solid innings.
Yeah, that's what he does. You're always kind of we call him a top step guy. You're on the top step of the dugout. Should we go get him? No. He always finds a way to wiggle out, and that's the competitive nature that he has, and sometimes that's hard to define, and it's hard for pro scouts to define. They're looking at numbers and stuff and velocity. We look at the pitches that Caleb makes at big moments, and he keeps you in games. And the discouraging thing about all this weather issue we're dealing with is we don't get to see one of the things that I thought was going to be our strength, and that's our pitching depth.
Right. It's
not getting exposed yet, and when we do have a chance to expose it and match it up with depth of other teams, I think you're going to see a Tiger team that's equipped to play in the postseason.
You mentioned the 4-run inning in that kind of weather, and you've been around long enough. You're not going to get the doubles and the home runs in that type of game. You got to manufacture runs. That hit and run was a great call. If the runner's not in motion, that's a soft line out. Instead, second baseman breaks for second. shoots out in the right field, and you guys executed a double steal at first and third in that inning. I believe got a fielder's choice run in that inning, able to scratch out 4 runs.
Scratch out 4 and executed a safety. And
right.
And you saw us run the bases at some key times. We're not going to jump out and just be crazy and try to run ourselves out of innings. I thought we did that at times last year. We ran ourselves out of a few innings. I want to run smarter this year, and so far we have. We've a couple of good dirt ball reads. That Chris Carrier's got one, and then and I saw early in that game the first at bat that Tucker had, the ball that he hit. If that ball's not getting out of the park today on that day, then nothing is. Yeah. That's about as good as you can hit one. So right then I said, okay, it's going to be tough to generate doubles. Let's try to manufacture some things, and when you pitch okay out of the bullpen, you can do that.
Mm-hmm. Coach, okay, now Wednesday, tentatively scheduled for 4 o'clock with the Mississippi Valley. Again, GoTigersGo.com. Go to Twitter at Memphis Baseball, the Tiger Baseball Facebook page. They'll have all the updates, but trying to get that 4 o'clock game Wednesday with Mississippi Valley State.
Valley State. We're gonna start Ryan Garner, a sophomore that pitched a lot out of the bullpen last year. Through some, very effective innings, we put him in some key moments for a freshman, kind of like we're doing with Connor and Colton now. So Ryan's, somewhat of a veteran, more of a veteran than you think of a normal sophomore would be. Getting another left-hander in the mix, had a very good fall. We'll see. Alex Gunn is still battling a little bit of the coming all the way back from the Tommy John and a little bit of back spasms. We were hoping we'd have him ready for start, being a midweek guy. Not quite there physically yet. Ryan Garner will get the nod, and then I feel good. Any starter that we run out there, the bullpen help we have behind him is key. So, and then a big series with St. Louis this weekend. That's
scheduled for 4 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. That could get bumped around, as we mentioned. Check their website and everything. But St. Louis, a team you played on the road last year, and that series got bumped around. They were renovating their field, had to move it to the minor league ballpark, able to get 3 games over there. Lost that series in 3 close games. It was a 2-1 series win for St. Louis, but it was 3 really close games.
Good program. Daron does a good job. Very well coached. They'll have a couple of power arms that are good. They're looking at the long range stuff. If we have to end up playing a doubleheader one day, we might. We could move some start times up. We just got to try to do everything we can now, because we can't. We can't really bank on just being able to bring anybody in at any time. We got to try to play as much as we can, but we do have the capabilities of adding some games late if we looks like we're going to fall below our 56.
All right, well, Coach, best of luck this week on the field and getting those games in, and we will talk to you next week.
Thanks, Jeff.
That is Head Coach Daron Schoenrock. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.